Today we are fitting up, and with any luck at all, we are going to weld in the longitudinal here on the 356. You can see we've already got it clamped up and in place. So let's flip around and see what we got going on. Let me start here. This is the wrong part for this car. I think this is a 1960, which is a type 5, not a type, I got one more finger, type 6. And there's a slight difference over here, but I think there's actually a slight difference here as well from what I've seen in some photos and some other things. That said, this will definitely work, but there's a few things that are just a tick off. So what I did was go through and kind of drew a dashed line here where I want my spot welds to be, and it's just to make sure I don't make them too deep or too shallow, I guess. Then I've got it clamped up on the threshold for the door. I managed to fit the door sill in without the top set of clamps there. And then on top here, I've also got the outer rocker skin. Yeah, was able to fit all of that up, and it seemed like in this position, we're pretty solid. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna declampify all of this here, and then we're going to use the punch flanging tool to put holes all along the bottom there, along that piece there, and then on the inside door sill, if that's what you wanna call it, so that we can get to welding these guys. The other thing I need to do is make sure that the inside of this panel is coated in epoxy, because it will never see the light of day again. I've got all of the rest of the internals painted really, really well. So yeah, I need to do that. Put a nice coat of epoxy primer on our part, knocked all the holes into it that I wanted to knock into it, and then I knocked some holes in the part here. I also had to weld up a little rust hole that was right there, so I need to prime it before we close anything up. But I am going to clamp this in place, then I'm going to mark all the holes here so I can remove this epoxy primer and get a really good weld surface going. I've got a ton of clamps on here. I'm gonna kind of move from section to section, welding right next to one clamp and then moving it over, letting it cool, moving to the next section and so forth. The bottom side is finished. It's very painstaking when you do these. Don't cheat. Every single hole needs a clamp next to it. You got to move them as they go. You want that metal to be touching when you weld it. It's going to help these spot welds, especially if you're doing small. These are 3/16 inch holes. And to describe how I weld on them, because I can't capture it on film, I never start in the middle of the hole. I always start at the edge, and the idea is you want to burn some of that edge away and then work your way around, and then that creates a slightly larger hole basically to work from. You can drill larger holes, 1/4 inch holes, and you can start in the middle of them. Some people even drill, I think it's like maybe 7/16 or something like that, or sorry, 5/16, a little bit bigger than 1/4 inch. But if you start on the edge, it'll burn that edge into the weld, and it makes for a bigger weld, and trust me, they hold. But if you start in the dead center of that, there's no way, you can't get them to hold. You get about 1 out of every 4 is been my experience. And so anyway, I've got all but 1 hole filled, and you'll notice there's some missing metal behind here, so I need to address that from the top side. My next spot that I'm looking at, here's the longitudinal, still need to weld that guy, is back here, the closing panel. And looking at this larger version of the closing panel, it actually covers a little ground up into, that's the B pillar there, so up into this kind of side panel. And I drew a line where this panel stops, this patch panel or this replacement panel stops. And when I look at it and kind of analyze, it's like shingling on a roof, right? Outside is going to drip over this piece. So you actually want this replacement piece tucked in behind this piece. And if you look in there, you can see the sandwich that they had. So my thought is, can I slice this piece here and grind off 1 inch or 2 of it? And you can see some spot welds here from the factory. There's actually a piece inside that's shaped exactly like that. So it's like a dual layer thing. So my thought is, let's undo this work that I did. Let's just make a line up here and cut it. Let's weld this piece in where it wants to be, and then we'll come in with a cover piece over the top of it, and hopefully that'll shingle down correctly and just make it all look right, make this piece fit right. This is a little cavity under here, which is great. This piece has just got a little lip that folds up. So it's exactly like I thought. There's kind of this outer skin, and then the piece that we're replacing goes in there. So this access is going to be perfect. I'm going to strip off these spot welds. I've got it clamped up into place. This all came out pretty sweet back behind here. I'll show you in just a second. But this just needs to be forced down and welded. And then this section here is not quite where it needs to be, but it's maybe 1/4 inch off. So I think if I can weld, tack this into place and just hammer this a little bit, I'll be able to get some clamps on the back side and start buzzing this in to get it sweet. And then we can put our outer layer back on. Just taking a quick look at that lip that we have to weld to. Pretty nice shape back there. It's not all rotted out. Yeah, looking good. I need to clean up that rust a little bit. I'll just grind it out. We'll come back. I've got this panel epoxy primed, and I shot some weld through over here on the edges and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go through and punch holes for spot welds and get this thing ready to weld in. now that I have all the holes punched, I just go through here with the marker, mark all the spots that I'm going to weld, and then I'll clean off the weld through primer just to make sure we get good contact. We're fit up about as good as we can get fit up. I just want to make sure everybody, the welding part will skip through, but the hammering is the important part of this operation. So I'm going to do a few tacks up here, and then I need to get this sheet metal formed so that it fits like the original. And I've got a bunch of hammers laid out here, so pay attention to which hammers in what situation. I think that'll be pretty interesting for everybody. I want to show you what I'm talking about as far as having to stretch the top of this panel. You can see if you look at the panel beyond, this has got to move down a lot. So we're just securing this bottom edge here, and then we'll stretch that guy in place. This probably feels like a long sequence, but I wanted to get this bottom edge of the panel tacked into place so it's essentially clamped down. It's not going to move. This piece needs to obviously stretch a little bit like we talked about, but this little joggle is my next victim here. It's sort of imprinted in this panel, but it's not deep like the factory edge there. So we're going to use a cross peen here, and I'm not going to strike it this way. I'm going to put it where I want it to be, and then we're going to strike the face of that hammer. I know, clutching your pearls, it's okay. There we are. I tried to put it in as close to the factory as I could, spots all around, and then they seam welded this piece here. I still have that cover piece to put in. I'll get to that on another day, but I think this is where we're gonna cut it for now. Got that longitudinal looking sweet. Got it closed in back here. I don't know if I could be happier with how this is going right here. This all feels super good to me. Taking the time, being meticulous, getting all the details right, I hope. So there we go. We'll catch you on the next one, guys.